And when they decide to come in, they move fast. Cameraman and SOS Pro staff John Hoover helps out with the calling when the birds come in close. The decision is which bird to take.
Got it.
A classic hunt.
There it is. Well, why don't you set up for the viewers the scenario or the strategy we used on this bird, because first we were working a bird, and then two birds come in from the opposite side. Why don't you set up for the viewers?
It's called improvising. No, we got set up on this turkey, the first turkey, and he come on in, and you know he was close enough to shoot, but something wasn't right. Something spooked.
Well, I didn't have a clear shot at him. That's one of the problems with video, and you're waiting for the cameraman to give you the clue, and I had one shot, but it was only for a matter of seconds. Then he went through all these trees again, and that was it. So
and then he come around, but he came around and he hung up way out there. He was coming back, and then I heard something off to the left. I heard a gobble way off in the distance, and then I heard a noise, and then I just kind of see him scooting up the hill a little bit again. So we waited a little bit longer and called some more. You know, he would answer. So I told John, I'm going to move back. I'm going to try to call the turkey over the top of you. I got back there about 30 or 40 yards, and I called. And all of a sudden, they came from the other side across that field, and they were already in our woods. They were coming that whole time. When we heard that one gobble, that was them. And I called again, but I was wide open. I was up against a tree, and I was hoping John would call to get him to come across the top, over past me in front of you, and that's why we had you swing around to this side of the trees.
Well, and that's basically, I was sitting there and I heard you move. I didn't know you moved because obviously I was facing that way, but I heard your calling get further away, and I'm thinking, okay, perfect. I know what he's doing. He's going to try to pull that turkey in. Then all of a sudden I hear you calling. I'm thinking, now we got birds gobbling on both sides. And it was a matter of who was going to come in first, And this guy was coming back again.
And then they were heading towards him, too, at the same time. So that's why they're moving so fast through there.
So, and then John's like, come over this way, come over this way. Man, oh man, I got birds on both sides. Which one are we going to set up one? And then these guys, they didn't come in to us. They were kind of
skirted us.
Yeah, they were staying on the outside.
Well, when they come in the woods when I was back there, they were straight in for me, and I was afraid they were going to spot me because I was against a tree, but it was so wide open back here. And I couldn't make another sound because, man, they were just looking hard.
Yeah, and that's where when John called was good because I didn't actually know where you were. I knew you were when that time. John said from 10 o'clock on, you're over that way. So but it worked out perfect because the birds came this way.
Yeah, they kept going around.
Anywhere near you. But
however it worked out, it worked.
Buddy, success.
That's it.
Now let's that spider calling. Let's get back to the camp, see how Darryl did and Diane. And Billy called one in for Diane. If he did, then we'll go out and have a nice celebration dinner. How's that sound?
Well, we got to have breakfast first.
Oh, yeah. That's right. We'll have celebration dinner. All right. Okay. Nice bird. Look, nice bird.
It's a 3-year-old turkey.
Yeah, it's a good bird. A nice beard.
Good spurs.
Good 1-inch spurs.
Starting
nice
to hook.
Yeah. 10.5, 11-inch beard.
Probably a little over an inch. Inch and an eighth.
Good bird. It's a good bird.
Well, are you waiting for me to carry him?
Yeah. No, I'll carry him. No, I'll get all the lace on him. Okay. He's heavy, too. He's about 20 pounds.
Oh. Let's go.
All right. You know how to get out of here?
Yep.
Up next, strategies from Bob Walker, brought to you by Walker's Game Here.
The shooting sports are probably the most hazardous recreational sport there is to one's hearing. But yet we're all guilty of this. We'll go to the range and we'll wear muffs or we'll wear plugs and we'll protect our hearing at the range. But in an actual hunting situation, The last thing we're going to want to do is put plugs on our ears. And there's a reason for this. Your hearing is a very valuable sense when it comes to being successful in the field. But there are products available now that will give you normal hearing, enhanced hearing, and protection whenever you shoot your gun. So remember, the next time you're out hunting, protect your hearing.